And we are live for the Road and Plate Palm Rack Golf Series here at Atlanta. Not the Super Speedway version, but the old version, the 2008 version. This is going to be a whole lot of fun tonight as qualifying is just getting started. I'm Joshua Copperl. I'm joined by Jonathan Canfield. John, I just mentioned qualifying is getting started. And, we've seen a couple of road courses. Now we're right back to the oval, another one of the staples of this league. So first of all, how are you doing? And second of all, what are you looking for tonight here now that we're back to an oval?
I'm excited to be back at an oval, and not just any oval, the old Atlanta, before they made it a super speedway. This bumpy surface down on the bottom, this right up around the wall that we see some drivers doing in qualifying. Really getting the most out of the car, and really, I've been teasing this for the last couple weeks. I have experience on this track with this car specifically, and it is such a fun race. We're going to see top to bottom cars in the middle, 3 wide action, maybe even 4 wide. These cars are very even too. If you look at lap times throughout qualifying, as Aaron Smith right now up 2/10 over the field at a 30.143. That is just a qualifying lap. Your average lap is still going to fall right in that 30.2 to 30.3, even 30.4. But lap times are going to fall. Tire wear is going to be the name of the game. Where you run the car is going to affect how your tires wear. Are you going to make the car more loose? Are you going to make the car more tight? Setup's not something that they can adjust here, but with how old this surface is and how this car drives, tire wear is going to determine how the car drives, and it's going to determine how you're able to maneuver the car throughout both the sprint, which is going to be a 25 lapper, and a 50 lap feature.
And it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Right now we are watching Peter Stewart on qualifying. Is 10 minutes total here for qualifying. Some drivers going out very early, some waiting. Right now the track temp is 94 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is a 15 mile per hour wind going on, taking you along down the back straightaway. So you're going to get a tailwind pushing you down the back straightaway, a headwind on the front stretch. Man, 15 mile an hour crosswind there in the corners, John. That could be pretty brutal. So we're still watching Peter Stewart here. P18 after lap 1. We'll see what lap 2 brings number 91 up to P10.
And you mentioned that crosswind and that what turns into a headwind coming out of the front. I mean, that's going to make turn 4 really, really tight, actually, on the exit. I could have my math all wrong here, but I've already seen it a couple times tonight. A couple guys pushing, trying to get all they can off 4, and they're up in that outside wall just through practice. But I think that's part of the factor that's affecting some of these drivers is going to be that crosswind turning into what would eventually be a headwind actually coming up off of 4 and onto the front straightaway and going down into turn 1. That's going to be huge as we go on here, especially with how aero-dependent these cars are. We talked about it when we were at Talladega just a couple weeks ago. How these cars side draft differently, how the aero package is very different. We talked about the splitters. These things have huge, huge splitters on the front nose, which just creates such a bubble for these cars. These cars in their aero package and the fact that they are lower horsepower, they become a handful, but they are very, very fun to drive. And I think it's going to be huge with that big wind gust going on here tonight to see how these drivers handle going through this track.
A couple drivers still have yet to take a qualifying lap. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in qualifying. Phil Keck being one of them, Dustin Bally, and Ryan Campbell as well. The 3 that have yet to qualify. A couple cars on track, but they have already taken their time. So be Chuck Labano and Tom Wendt. Maybe just more practice laps for those drivers. Aaron Smith still top of the board, but it is Bechtel that is super, super close to Smith in qualifying times. So far in second. Michael Kruger, we know he is really good on the ovals. Shined a lot on the ovals last season. And how about Dakota Knoll, a driver that not really used to seeing too much anymore on JCTV. Did show up last week to race at Portland. Was there for a little bit. Looking to have some fun here on the oval at Atlanta. Dakota Knoll, a driver of the BSR Amsoil Truck Series. Not so much lately, but friends over there. So good to see him. As always, Laura Wiseman, somebody that has been really, really good on the plate races. Now, this race not so much a plate race, but Laura Wiseman still showing that ovals are a really good strong suit. Currently P8 in qualifying. We do have Dustin Bali just leaving pit road. Looks like Dustin Bali's gonna go ahead and take a qualifying time here.
He's got just about enough time to get his 2 laps in. 30-second lap times is what we're looking at. So he'll have some chance to maybe get a water or grab his breath after qualifying, but one of the last cars to go out here to put up a time. Gets to see the time that everybody else laid down. Elects to take the bottom there.
He got so close to the wall. He didn't hit it, but he got so close to it.
And I might have had my tightness theory backwards now that I'm thinking about it. Tailwind down the back. Actually, that tailwind's going to pick up coming off too, and that's going to push the car out to the wall. So, actually, Dustin Bali lays down a good lap there. 30.306. Put him in the 7th position.
So, a minute and 35 seconds left here in qualifying. Phil Keck and Ryan Campbell still yet to take qualifying lap. And if they're going to do so, they need to do it quickly. But 25 drivers have taken a qualifying laps. We'll have 27 here regardless, unless there is a very late entry. So far, it's the Aaron Smith show once again. Literally has won all the sprint races, all the feature races, with the exception of Talladega sprint race. And, you think of a driver like Smith, and, how he's really good on the road courses. The plate races are a chance for other people to try to get wins, to shine, to get one up on Smith. And, of course, Smith's still able to win the feature at Talladega. Now, Atlanta, I already mentioned, this is not the super speedway version of Atlanta. This is the old version. And it's going to take a lot more skill than it would at, say, the newer Atlanta. Which still is harder to drive, don't get me wrong. But Aaron Smith, he'd love to continue his winning ways. These other drivers, though, they want a chance. And they're thinking, we're not at a road course tonight. It's time to get it done. It's qualifying has come to an end. Checkered flag is flying there. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting grid. And starting on the pole, it is Aaron Smith. Randy Bechtel will start in second. Third place, Michael Kruger. Dakota Knoll, P4. Devin Jack, 5th. Mark Royce, 6th. 7th, it's Dustin Bali. Robert Brobst in 8th. 9th, Laura Wiseman. And James Moore will start from that 10th position.
11th place, you'll see the 346 machine of Chuck Labano. Levi Powell going to be to his outside in 12th. Peter Stewart going to be back there in that 13th position with Andrew White on the outside in 14th. 15th, Sean Johnson. Outside of him going to be Sam Stoner in that 16th spot. Aaron Bray, 17th, and 18th will be Evan Hoopchak. 19th, Daniel Ott. 20th, and rounding out your top 20 is going to be Brandon Carl. 21st, rolling on back here, it's going to be Johnny Rapp. 22nd, Larry Johnson. 23rd will be Chris Winslow. Tom Went qualified in the 24th position. And your final qualifier to take time tonight is in that 25th position, John Campbell. 2 non-qualifying drivers did not take time. It's going to be Ryan Campbell and Phil Keck, who I do not see on the grid yet.
Well, John, I gotta know. Who is your pick to win tonight? For the sprint race.
I'm going to leave the banana peel on the track and hope that somebody slips and falls, because I'm not taking the banana man tonight. I am going to actually take our 3rd place starter, Michael Kruger. Experience on this track in most any vehicle. I assume the same goes for Aaron Smith and a few others of these guys. But I think just the momentum. I mean, we've seen Kruger having a good run at Portland last week. You mentioned his success on ovals, but momentum is momentum, Josh, and he had a good week last week. Few, I believe, minor incidents, but he had speed. He was in the right places. I just think he had a good week last week, and he carries that into this week.
I just had a big feeling you were going to take Michael Kruger. He is one to watch out for sure. And, I'm going to go with his Radius teammate. And that is the one right next to him, Dakota Knoll. Wait, some people may be saying, well, you're crazy, Josh. Look at Dakota Knoll's stats in league racing. Yeah, you know what? This isn't BSR. This is Road and Plate, Paul Marat Golf Series, different series. He's not raced in a while. He's in it to win it. He's here to not DNF. And I think he can get it done. Right here in the sprint race. Starting P4. Watch out for my man, Dakota Knoll. Try to get the win. Aaron Smith and Randy Bechtel, though, on the front row. 25 laps for this sprint race here at the 1.5 mile Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia.
Notes for our sprint race: should not need a pit stop. Should be able to make it on fuel from here. Tires going to be in tall order. If we have a caution about midway, I expect to see some drivers take a chance on those fresher tires. And trust me, fall off's going to be huge here. Interesting to see who takes what line, who immediately goes to the top, and who decides to go low and slow around the bottom. 25 laps here will put wear on those tires, and it will be who takes care of them the best that ends up getting towards the front here.
Oh yeah, this right here is going to be a great learning experience for these drivers for what they can do in the future, but at the same time, you still want to have a really good race. The pace car is in there inside the Geico Restart Zone. Green flag is out. We're underway for the sprint race here at Atlanta.
Already see him fanning out. 3 and 4 wide in the background. And see some
Michael
wide there.
Kruger takes a peek to the inside of Aaron Smith for the race lead. Kruger kind of sliding up just a little bit, but is able to keep it off the S70 machine. Bechtel gets to the inside of Michael Kruger, and Aaron Smith leads the first lap.
Aaron Smith did exactly what you would want to do there as the car in the outside lane. He went down and got on Michael Kruger's right front there It makes the car really tight. I mentioned how aero dependent these cars can be with how big those splitters are and the low horsepower. It just something about these bodies. I don't know the exact science behind it, but they are very aero dependent. You see Michael Kruger making the move to the outside now. Aaron Smith gonna let him make the pass, and they're both now going to settle in. Aaron Smith, you see, already content to run the bottom. Kruger running a little bit up in the mid lane. Electing to run that middle. As I mentioned earlier, I mean, any line on this racetrack is available. You can go middle, you can go all the way to the wall, and you can go all the way down to that white line. Oh, and that white line, that's not an out-of-bounds line either. So if by some form of a miracle somebody wants to go down on that apron and try it out, they can.
Look at this. Kruger is right back up to the top. He had the speed there, was able to get past Smith, went down to the bottom, and Smith kind of rolled right back up to Kruger. Now rolls reverse. Smith goes to the top. Kruger drops down to the bottom.
Good defense by Michael Kruger, but what you're seeing here is a cat and mouse game of two drivers trying to keep that clean air. Aaron Smith's going to run where Kruger's not. You see Kruger electing to go to the wall again here in 1 and 2. Smith going to elect to go to the bottom, get some clean air on the nose of his race car. Off of turn 2, Kruger's still going to have that big run down the back. In the background, you've got Devin Jack. I believe that's a 44, Mark Royce. I think that's the 19. Yeah, that's Bechtel. He's dropping back here. So Bechtel losing positions, stuck on the bottom.
Bechtel, I think, just trying to save some tire, maybe?
Could be another battle going on right there. I believe that's James Moore in the 49 and Devin Jack. 44 going to look to the inside. Mark Royce looking to the inside of Dakota Knoll. Dakota Knoll kind of comes down right on that nose again, feeding that air to the front of Mark Royce.
Well, we're 3 wide behind them. Andrew White, Dustin Bali, and Randy Bechtel. We're 3 wide.
Chris Winslow having issues. He's going to be slow on the bottom. Had to come to pit road. But 44 going to get split. We're going to be 3 wide going into 3.
James Moore was among them.
Up front, it's mostly single file. Aaron Smith is just hounding that 40. Michael Kruger, he's going to look to the inside again for the lead. Behind them, it's going to be Noel Jack. I believe that's...
Oh!
The wall goes more, and that's Bali. And
That's...
Bechtel's going to be over.
And we are still green, not for long. Robert Brobst around, caution is out. Ticker was slow to tell us so, but it's still chaos. What is going on? Sean Campbell.
That might have been Sean and Ryan Campbell in one little incident there. Yeah, that was the Campbells both getting into each other.
James Moore hit the wall. Bali got into him as a result. Just kind of a slow car. Not really any of Bali's doing. See the chaos here with Brobst and the 64 of Larry Johnson. And then a little bit later on, it's Sean and Ryan Campbell.
And looking at the replay, Josh, we might have to go on board with Sam Stoner because he is right in the middle of it, and it looks like he might sneak through it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and Evan Hoopchak on the back end of that gets a piece of it as he's trying to roll through there and make it through.
Okay, so there was some drivers that came down pit road. Actually, most of the drivers came down pit road. Aaron Bray stayed out. Johnny Rapp stayed out. Ryan Campbell stayed out. Looks like Sean Johnson with 2 tires. Aaron Smith, 4 tires, as well as everybody else in the field. So, just to recap of what I just said there. Top 3 stayed out. Evan Hubchak, I didn't mention him. I think he just took his fast repair. Sean Johnson, 2 tires. Everybody else 4.
So leading the field back to the green, I believe, is going to be Aaron Bray. We get ready to come back to green. Lights are out on the pace car. We are double stacked. You know, Josh, I did put this out in the world that if we have a caution right around, you know, the midway point, which we're kind of there, it could end up split strategy.
I think the idea here was to pit. I mean, you're going to see these guys that stayed out just struggle here.
That was a really early launch. I'm not sure what the rules are for restart zone here. Aaron Bray electing to go honestly before they even get to the restart zone.
Johnny Rapp.
He's gonna get passed on the outside. Johnny Rapp's gonna have a run. Evan Hubchak, that's a driver I'm surprised doesn't have more damage.
He took his fast
caught
repair
up in the last incident.
That would be my guess, though, John. He was in his box for 1.5 seconds. That ain't even enough for a splash of gas. I'm guessing Evan Hubchak took his fast repair, but...
Already, here comes that 70 machine, though. As Kruger, I believe, is 3 wide in the background.
Oh, he is sandwiched. And they're about to be 4 wide. Good old thinks better about it. Here we go.
This is something Kruger's tight. He's going to get the wall.
Aaron Smith underneath Rapp for the race lead.
Not far behind him, though, is Kruger. Kruger's trying to hurry up and catch up to that 70 car. Kruger has 2 cars between them. Sean Johnson and Johnny Rapp, both between Kruger and Smith.
That's no tires and 2 tires. Theoretically, shouldn't be hard for Kruger to pass.
We got caution on track.
Dustin Bally in the wall.
Ooh, it's going to be Chuck Labano. Something happened to him. Ooh, checks up for a car in front. Off the nose of Daniel Ott, he goes. A 30 and the 24. Big shots there.
So check up for Carl. Yeah, you mentioned the Levi Powell and Dustin Bally.
I think that was Sean Campbell just sneaking through there at the end.
Some drivers coming down pit road. So Michael Kruger, he is the second one on those 4 fresh tires, or at least freshest tires. Aaron Smith, of course, took 4 at the previous caution. Johnny Rapp. I'm kind of surprised he's still second place. I mean, it was not that long of a run, but I'm surprised that Johnny Rapp still is there in second place.
And tire fall off's big, but what else plays a factor, and we keep talking about it, is aero. Johnny Rapp and Sean Johnson have played a smart game here. They're running the lines where they need to run, making it harder for guys like Kruger to get past on fresh tires. You only get a couple laps. Aaron Smith wasted no time using those couple laps to get himself up front. The longer it takes you to get past these cars with old tires, the worse your new tires are going to get, and eventually that fall off is going to take a balancing effect.
Yeah, and
the sooner Kruger can handle these two, the sooner he can try to battle with the 70.
Yeah, and that's the thing, with Kruger going to restart here in fourth. He's going to be behind Johnny Rapp. He's really hoping that Rapp gets going, because if that's the case, I don't think that getting past getting past Johnson's going to be that big of a deal. But if Rapp does not go, it's going to make it even harder for Kruger. Johnson will be able to go. He has the best view of Smith. And as soon as Smith goes, Johnson will be ready for it. And not to mention Devin Jack behind Johnson. Jack's got the four fresher tires. You don't want him to get past you for Michael Kruger. There's a lot going on here. 8 laps to go when we go back green. Pace car is in. Inside the restart zone. Aaron Smith goes.
Johnson did not get going there. You mentioned him having the best view of Smith, but he just didn't go. He didn't anticipate the 7 going. Kruger gets a good restart all over the back bumper of Johnny Rapp, and he's going to beat to the outside here off 2.
Not clear yet. It's Michael Kruger. He does in 3. Kruger.
And he's got a head of steam coming off of 4.
Yes, he does. Rolling that outside line. Is Aaron Smith going to do something different here? I'm not really worried about saving tire anymore. There's only 7 laps to go, and Smith kind of blocks high but pulls low. Smart move by Smith.
All this happening, and Sean Johnson on that 2-tire strategy, I believe, is coming out behind him, and in the background, that's going to be Sam Stoner.
And Laura Wiseman. We stay green. They were on the apron.
They both stay straight.
6 more.
Front battle's on. Johnson is there. May not have the freshest tires, but that 32 car is there, and he's bringing Devin Jack with him.
And Kruger sent it. He's going to pull a slide job on Aaron Smith. Smith gets the crossover. They are side by side, but honestly, I like Kruger's position. He's got the outside line where he's going to be able to have that momentum.
Battling is going to draw cars behind even closer. This is going to make this more than just a 2-car battle the longer they stay side by side.
5 more laps around Atlanta for the sprint race. Kruger is able to clear Aaron Smith. And I think you just got to run the high line now.
3 wide in the background. The 3 of Andrew White makes a move on the bottom, gets around Dakota Knoll and Johnny Rapp. Move him up to the 5th place position. Dakota Knoll coming back trying to knock on the door of 5th place.
Have a new chuck side by side back here.
This battle up front is not done, Josh. That 70 car pulled right back up to the back bumper of the 40. I do have a caution. I hear some tires sliding. I'm not sure who it is yet. Do see Tom Went slow rolling on the bottom. Oh, Tom Went. Maybe that's going to be Ryan Campbell. The 11 of Aaron Gray.
Oh, man. And a hard hit to the inside wall for Tom Wendt.
It's a simple mistake there by Wendt, really. Not even really a mistake, just late in the race here, you don't know what tires are doing just yet. You're not sure who has put on tires and who hasn't, but you got to assume that they're starting to get wore out a little bit. Comes up off the bottom, just trying to exit the corner, and just barely gets the left rear of the 18. Look, I mean, Josh, we are going to get one attempt here at a shootout.
It's going to be wild. And I'm impressed with Johnson. You kept talking about him, and now he's still up here. And well, I'm wondering if my telemetry is wrong, but it's saying he was in his box for 8 seconds. Well,
and 2 tires is a play here. Those right sides make a world of a difference with how they wear. The right sides are going to wear out a lot more than your left, especially if you've been running in that high lane. But, who knows? You may have just taken on rights, and rights can be enough with how short this stint is. Only a 25 lapper. Now we're pushing it to, I think we're going to push a 26 lapper out of it. But still, that's just enough tire, really, to get it done. The left sides are not going to wear as much on these cars. So right sides are in play.
So lights on the pace car are going to go out. 1 to green, 2-lap shootout. The way it works here, with this being 1 attempt at a green-white checkered, if we get the green flag and an accident happens that throws the yellow, the race will end under yellow. If we get the green flag, the leader drives around and takes the white flag, and then there's a wreck. Generally, the caution won't come out. It shouldn't, at least in iRacing rules. And we finish the race under green, as long as the white flag is out. Michael Kruger, we know he is really good racer on the ovals. Let's look at a steal one from Aaron Smith here in the sprint race. And the pace car will make its way to the safety of pit road here momentarily. 2 more. Green flag is out, and Kruger wasted no time.
Kruger gets a good jump. Devin Jack gets a good restart in that outside lane. Again, Johnson slow on the restart. Just not getting that jump. Devin Jack going to hang on to the right rear here. Actually, I take that back. Johnson going to clear for third, and we got a battle for the lead. Smith going to pull that side draft down the straightaway and try to send it into 3. Kruger looks like he throttles up, and he's going to try and stick it around the outside. We got a battle for the lead coming to the white flag.
Michael Kruger, he wants the sprint win. He's going to try to take it here clear of Smith. Smith going to have one more shot at it, probably in 3 and 4. Not going to get side by side down the back, down off of 2, down the back straightaway. Smith actually gets into the wall. He's now under attack from Johnson.
Wreck in the background, that's going to be Andrew White. Johnson going to send it in deep to the inside here of Smith. They're going to be side-by-side off of 4. It's going to be Michael Kruger all clear into the line. Side-by-side battle for second. Smith going to take second at the line.
Johnson, third. Jack, Knoll, Moore, Rapp, Stewart, Brobst, and Bechtel are the top 10 finishers. Bechtel will be on the pole for the feature event. We're going to have to see if we're going to get a word with Michael Kruger. winner of the sprint race. Now, before we do that, there has been a rule change effective immediately, where there is a cap of how many times we can interview a driver. That cap is 3. Aaron Smith, we've talked to him a million times, 5 actually. We are exempt. We cannot talk to him at all for the rest of the season unless if he is a champion. We'll be able to talk to him at the season end. A driver can decline an interview, but considering Michael Kruger just stopped into the interview waiting room, I'm going to assume he wants us to talk to him, and this will be his second interview this season. So we're going to go ahead and pull in my buddy and the sprint race winner, Michael Kruger. Hey, Mikey. How's it going?
Swindle, doing good. Barely held on there for the heat there. That wasn't an easy one there against Aaron. That was a pretty tough one there, but we were fortunate though to come away with that one. And yeah, I'm feeling good so far.
It really did not look like it came easy. In fact, we know this track, it is very abusive to the tires. The surface, it is old, and you're going to want tires every time you possibly can get them. Now, you moved up to the top very early on. Had we not had any cautions, which we did, but had we not had any, were you kind of worried about maybe burning your stuff up there with Aaron Smith? I mean, really close.
A little, yeah, but just a little bit for how the ARCA car is, I mean, the draft is so massive, and I mean, tires have a small, minute factor in it, really. I mean, we saw on the road courses how it's like a viable strategy to or how the tires don't wear too greatly there. But, I mean, I thought they meant a bit of an impact, though, in the race, from the guys that stayed out and didn't take tires, and those did too, and me and Aaron got to them, and everyone else behind us passed by them. So I think they do make a difference, but I don't know if it's too drastic, really, per se, as you would think, like an Xfinity car or something like that.
Well, now you got the feature coming up. The field is inverted. You will start in 10th place. A little chaotic there in the back of the field, but what are you looking for here in the feature?
I mean, just trying to. I guess the race length. 50 laps. We have at least one pit stop, and it's a bit of a long race, especially with the oval, and since we're on the oval and not on a road course, should be really interesting. And I mean, we'll just see how things shake out here in the feature.
All right, sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Just want to quickly thank Cameron Caldwell for the C2 graphics paint. He got me, and my teammate Dakota Knoll for tonight. And really, that's kind of all I got for kind of gridding right now.
All right, well, good luck to you in the feature, and maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later.
All right, thank you.
That was the sprint race winner, Michael Kruger. And we're getting ready for the feature.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got one at the beginning of the season on an oval, and I think I got my second pick here on the oval for this year. So far, I've gotten 2. Josh, we'll switch it up, and I'll ask you, since we're heading into the feature, you get first pick. Who's your pick to win the feature?
Man, it's going to be hard to really beat Smith and Kruger. But you know what? I'm optimistic here. I'm not going to pick either one of them. And, I'm going to go with, as soon as I get to his name, I'm going to go with James Moore. Great at these ovals. It's time. It really is time for James Moore to get one. He's going to start P5, here in the feature race. So yeah, we'll see how he does here tonight.
Well, I mean, there's one dark horse I think he left out there. With the exception of Sean Johnson taking 2 tires and having that strategy work out, there was a driver who I believe should have finished 3rd in that race, and he was the 3rd car on speed, in my opinion. Devin Jack starting 7th, finishing 4th in that sprint race. I think if he keeps the 4 wheels on the track, stays out of trouble, keeps the nose clean, and he stays ahead of that 70 and that 40 car, I think he's got what it takes to get to the front. I think he's fast. I think he's going to get to the front and get it done.
So many good picks. That, I mean, you could really give a case for so many drivers here tonight. And it's a shame that we can only pick one apiece. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting feature, no doubt. It is different. These guys, they like to have that one wild card of the season. This is their wild card race, and it's not the traditional plate race. It's not a road race. It's just that something different. But these guys, they know how to put on a great show, and I really think that it's unpredictable. I think whoever wins this one is definitely going to have to earn it. And Randy Bechtel, Robert Brobst make up the front row. 50 laps for the feature. And by the way, the wind has moved big time to where it's now a headwind in turns 3 and 4, tailwind in 1 and 2. But enough of that. Pace car's in. Green flag is out. Here we go for the feature. And a great jump by Brobst.
Brobst did get a good jump there. Start is always on green. Leader does not get preference. Kruger already up to that outside lane. Gonna be 3 wide off of 2.
He made a phenomenal move from 7th to 1st last week of the feature. Not able to do that tonight, but Michael Kruger is on a mission as, Bechtel, he is pulled right back up to side-by-side with Brobst.
And it almost looks like pack racing right now with 2 lanes all stacked up. But you see right there in the corner, everyone running a slightly different line. Everyone trying to get air to their noses. Moore's going to make a move to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide down the back. Devin Jack going to follow.
Devin Jack, and he's got Peter Stewart right just on his side, pinching him down. How about old Dakota Knoll? Challenging for 2nd place, is about to be right there side by side with Brobst.
And Dakota Knoll starting to pull up to that back bumper there of Robert Brobst. But don't look in that mirror now. Michael Kruger's moved himself up to 3rd as he splits Johnson or not splits, but puts Johnson and Bechtel 3 wide. And following right behind him is Aaron Smith just stalking him.
This guy's wasting no time, and I'm just concerned with them rolling the high line. Like, if I'm Robert Brobst right now, yeah, I'm under pressure for the race lead by Dakota Knoll, but here I am running the bottom. I'm doing a little bit better job saving my tires than these guys are.
And here comes Kruger and Smith, both making the same cut move from the wall to the bottom on Dakota Knoll. Dakota Knoll getting boxed in by these 2.
Michael Kruger.
And Dakota's going to get...
Oh, we got to spin it back.
Down into Smith. Keeps his momentum as we've got crashing going on in the background.
Johnny Rapp. And some others involved. Johnny Rapp side by side with Moore, but it was contact with Jack. Sent the 52 around. And nobody else involved in that.
No damage to any other cars.
Actually, I don't even think Rapp got damaged.
I don't think Rapp has any damage. Maybe a little to the rear, but I do think that Devin Jack just did not judge how big his run was. Did not get low enough when he went to make the move below the 52. Oh, so we got some bumping out on the track under caution, the 29 and the 54. We're playing some bumper cars there for a second, but
oh man,
all is well.
Look at the left side. I'm gonna back this up. Take a look at the left side of Daniel Ott's car. That is beat up, and I'm wondering if there was maybe something between Ott and Campbell that caused that damage. Well, we're under caution. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to find anything, but we'll see. Oh, I found it.
There was a second wreck within our caution.
And right there. Oh! It was Levi Powell spun out there.
And now I see why we had some bumper cars being played under caution.
Well,
I believe we're getting ready to come back. Yeah, we're going to double stack them here and get ready to come back to the green next time by. Dan Ott is off pit road and away. Going to be Brooks, Kruger, Knoll, Bechtel, Hoopchak, and I believe that's Larry Johnson.
well, that is Larry Johnson,
Ryan
yes.
Ryan Campbell, Brandon Carl, Aaron Bray, and Tom Went.
It's going to be a...
I think Aaron Smith might have been our only driver to pit for tires. No, he brought a crew down with him. So Smith, Johnson, Moore, Royce, and a few others have come down for tires under this round of caution.
It's going to be a nice 42 laps to go when go back green. Pace car is in. Robert Brobst, the control car. Green flag's back out. An even start between these two.
Very even start, but Kruger in the lane where he's going to get the most momentum. Knoll going to follow up behind him. Brobst going to be in a tough position to battle here. You see Knoll pulling a side draft there on the 5. Brobst rolling back on that inside lane a little bit there. Battle on for second. Kruger out front. He's going to lead it at the line.
And now about Bechtel right there as well. Bechtel trying to make a pass on Brobst. Bechtel actually going all the way up to the wall. Oh, contact in the back. I don't know who that is. Wiseman, maybe? It's not Wiseman. We stay green. It was all on the apron, but 3 cars here. Chris Winslow, Johnny Rapp, and Sean Campbell.
Aaron Smith in the back right now trying to dig through traffic. He rolls 3 wide on Wiseman with Royce following up behind him. Now he's in the back of Stoner who caught the wall. Man, Aaron Smith put himself back here in the middle of the action. It's going to be fun to watch him try to dig his way through the field. Moore is ahead of him. Moore came down pit road with Smith. And now I believe James Moore may be the top car on tires right now as he's got contact with the 11 of Aaron Bray. They're 3 wide coming off too, and there goes Chuck Labano to the inside of Moore.
Johnny Rapp. Oh, man. I wonder if he sees what we see, because if that's the case, he's not able to see. I doubt it, but back up front.
Oh, Aaron Smith in the wall, and he's going to go around off the bumper of Chuck Labano.
Oh.
Both cars around, no caution yet. He stayed green.
Oh, man. We stay green. The good news for Smith is he's going to have a fast repair. The bad news is he's going to have to hope for a yellow to be able to use it.
And right now, looking at data, Aaron Smith does not have a... He does not have a meatball. Chuck Labano currently does. I believe he's on pit road. Yes, he is. So the 346 machine is on pit road, and Chuck Labano has called it a night.
Side-by-side battle for second. Bechtel and
I hear more
Noel.
crashing in the background. I can't get numbers on the cars, but I hear more sliding tires. Tom went slow on the racetrack. He's coming to pit road. Riding the outside of Johnson and gets into the wall and just touches Eli Powell. Looks like he's got broken steering. Everyone swerving to avoid. We stay green. Went on pit road, I believe, using that fast repair. So leaders come by to put him a lap down. Chris Winslow up ahead of our leaders here. Getting ready to be a lap car. Oh, Dakota Noel had contact with the outside wall. He almost comes down into Randy Bechtel. Noel gonna drop spots from second.
And so Johnson gets third. Hoopchak fourth. Noel still battling side-by-side with Hoopchak. Robert Probst just fallen right now. Lost 2 positions the last lap. Lost another one to Andrew White.
I was just getting ready to say, here comes that 3 of Andrew White. Hoopchak trying to hold it around the bottom, but White electing to take the top. He's rolling the top. Bechtel getting to the back bumper now of Kruger.
And Kruger elects to go up to the wall. He's going to get into it. Sliding, but saves it. Somehow Bechtel wasn't able to just blow past Kruger.
Josh, we're getting into that portion of the run where I talked about how the tires are going to affect these cars. Right now, we're not in a position where anyone's willing to give up their position on track to pit. But if a caution fell, I could guarantee that pit road would be a busy, busy place. We're hitting that portion of the run. The tires are starting to fall off. You see it with Michael Kruger and his handling going away. You see it in the background. We've got more guys getting tight.
Andrew White, Dakota Noel contact. That allows Hoopchak to pass. White goes down, gets into Probst. Oh, and Probst and Noel contact. Noel hard into the outside wall. That is going to bring out the caution. And poor Dakota Noel. Bad luck. once again.
Gotta go back and watch where it all started. The 3 almost puts 55 in the fence off 2. The 3 then goes down and taps the 5. The 5 and the 55 just kind of meet in the middle. Ropes running right on the seam, comes up a little bit. Dakota Knoll is there in the middle lane, and they come together. And Knoll's, as you mentioned, Knoll's bad luck streak continues. And a credit to all these drivers here. You see a lot of drivers there flying through that as the 55 is stopped dead center in the middle of the track. How nobody else hit him, I don't know, but great job by all the drivers, working hard there to miss him.
You know the saying, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. And I've never really been a fan of that saying, but I feel like that just describes Dakota Knoll in his racing, his iRacing sim career, if you will.
Well,
but you know,
gosh, I gotta say, you know who got the biggest break of all under this caution?
oh, Aaron Smith.
Aaron Smith is correct. Only 11 seconds back as he came on pit road, so he wasn't too far off, but he got a big break there.
The one bad thing for Aaron Smith, we're going to have to see exactly what position he is in, but the one bad thing for Aaron Smith is we're going to have 27 laps to go, roughly, when we go back green. He is probably going to be in 14th place. We'll have to see exactly. But my point of saying this is it's a lot of ground to make up.
Pit road was the busiest place, but doesn't look like all drivers elected to come down there. Unsure if these are lap cars in front of Kruger.
They are. Sean Campbell,
Some of
Devin
them
Jack,
might be.
and Tom Wendt. All going to be taken away around here.
And all Devin Jack, that'll put him, I believe, back on the lead lap. Tom Wendt as well.
And Sean Campbell is 2 down still.
2 down, and I believe our free pass car was going to be the 29 and Daniel Otis. He's catching up to the tail end of the field right now.
It's 27 laps to go, John, when they take the green flag. It will be a 15th place starting position or restarting position for Aaron Smith. He's not going to be able to outbrake drivers going into the corner like he can at a road course. It's going to be interesting to see him come back up through the field. He did a great job trying to do so early on in this race. Dakota Knoll with a blown engine as we're coming back to the green flag, and it is out. Michael Kruger with a great jump. Bechtel not far, but Kruger pulling away.
Kruger is pulling away. We've seen him be fast on fresh tires. We also seen him lose the handling a little bit there as the tires wore. So keep an eye on that. The longer we run green, the more these tires are going to wear out. And I don't think anybody added any fuel in the sprint, but we did go 27 laps in the sprint total. Was about what we had left when we just took the green, so we should potentially be good on fuel. As we're 3 wide down the back straightaway. I think that's James Moore on the bottom.
Indeed, that is White on top and Larry Johnson in the middle.
They go back 2 by 2. Larry Johnson still all over the quarter panel of that 12 car of James Moore. As on the 44, Mark Royce going to look to the middle. Evan Hoopchak going to slide up a little bit.
Some drivers in an uncomfortable position, including Stoner. Saw him wiggle out there. They're 4 wide.
For a second.
Bally backs out of it. And look at Aaron Smith. He's going to roll right around the top. Sean Johnson following.
Hoopchak in the middle of the pack making a big move to get to the bottom in front of Ryan Campbell. Mark Roy's going to roll up to his outside. Hoopchak has a run on the 12. Where do you go? He's going to fall in behind and give him a bump. Ryan Campbell's going to get a shot from behind. Aaron Smith's in the middle. Mark Roy's coming down, and that's going to be a crash.
And Aaron Smith. He got sideways. Maybe a little bit of damage. We know he's taking his fast repair, or assume he has. Wiseman involved as well. Samuel Stoner. Take a look back at the replay. Complete chaos. And Michael Kruger was under attack from Robert Brost for the race lead.
Robert Brost really able to take advantage of some track position and just keeping that nose clean. Not being involved in some of these incidents that we're having here tonight.
So, John, did you know that Palm Rat Golf delivers classic styles in a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family? Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmratgolf.com. I'm not a golfer. I played golf once, and it was at work. We had a golf outing a couple of years ago. We're actually having another golf outing that I signed up for, and my golf game is it's non-existent.
You're the next Tiger Woods. Quit lying to everybody.
Yeah, well, shoot. If I can hit the ball off the tee, we're already making progress. Okay? So all I'm saying is, my golf game is not there. PalmRatGolf.com, though, is a place to go if you are a golfer and can actually hit the ball off the tee, because I certainly can't. Well, even if you're not a golfer. I mean, I
was just getting ready to say,
move seamlessly from the office.
In my seat.
And this is the thing. I say it all the time. It allows you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hang with friends and families. No matter what you're doing, there's something out there. Go check them out. PalmRatGolf.com.
Now, Josh, we got something interesting here. It looks like the 70 did not come down. We talked about some of the damage you might have. Gonna see how it affects him here. My replay showed contact, but I heard over driver comms a talk of netcode. iRacing replays sometimes will show what contact is said to be taking place. I think on Aaron Smith's side, it might, if we go and look at his replay, it might show some serious netcode. I didn't see any. That's because you and I get to see the replay of what iRacing shows.
Well, the pace car is in. 20 laps to go when we go back green. Well, now, green flag is out. Michael Kruger with a great restart.
Little gamesmanship there on the start. You've seen the 5 try to anticipate when Kruger was going to go. Kind of had to give it back there. Stacked himself up and gives Kruger that amazing launch.
How about Brandon Carl? He's up
trying
here.
to make a move on the bottom here. Bechtel in behind him. They're almost 3 wide. White, they are going to be 3 wide. Andrew White up on the top. Ryan Campbell in the middle, and Evan Hoopchak on the bottom.
Oh, 3 wide. Andrew White around. Hard into the outside wall. He keeps it straight. Nevin Jack gets into him. We are still somehow, some way green. But they're still wrecking. Andrew White into the inside wall with, that's Chris Winslow. Winslow stopped on track. Oh, man, the caution doesn't come out as a result of what was going on behind. It's going to be a result of Brandon Carl, who was just in second place.
We got so caught up in watching that, we have to go back and see what happened in the second seven.
Contact with 64 of... It's Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson got hit by somebody. I couldn't tell who that was.
Looked like Laura Wiseman, maybe. Drivers I can tell you that have retired so far. Looks like Noel, Stoner, White, and Winslow, the 2 cars we watched, have contact there. Wow, Brandon Carl had his issues on track.
Take a look to see if we could... Oh, it was Laura Wiseman. And that did absolutely nothing to her car. Hopefully. For Wiseman's sake. Might have just been some netcode contact. I don't see any damage on that 84.
Oh gosh, we're at lap 34, where I feel like we got here fairly quickly, but now we're starting to see that cautions breed cautions effect take place that we see in the real world. You know, not a knock at these drivers. This happens in the real world too, so it's not uncommon for, you know, a string of cautions to just keep coming, especially when you think about how important restarts and positions are going to be on a track like this. We talk about old tires, new tires. We talk about strategy. We talk about, you know, where you want to run, what line you want to be in, how aggressive you get. Track position is number 1 on my list here. Especially from what I learned when I did this race. And it was a much longer race, mind you, but track position is important. Where you are on track will determine how many cars you have to pass and how much tire you're going to have to use up to do that. If you're a Kruger or a Brobst, or even a Bechtel and a Hoopchak, you're okay. But as soon as you start digging back into the 30 of Levi Powell, the 29 Daniel Ott, those cars that are back there, they've got their work cut out for them. Tire wear is going to be wearing. They need to really, that's where the intensity is going to come from, and it's going to keep picking up as we get closer to the end. And that's where we get those cautions breeding more cautions.
It's going to be 15 laps remaining in this race when we go back green. 34 laps complete, but will be 35. Michael Kruger, he won the sprint race. He is looking to sweep the night by taking the feature as well, but it's not just been a really dominating performance for Kruger despite leading a ton of laps. We'll see if he can hang on. The pace car is inside the restart zone. Green flag back out. And another great restart by Kruger.
And Bechtel did a good job to get himself a good restart there. He's going to clear for second going into turn 2 and off of turn 2. Here comes Daniel Ott on the outside. He's going to battle for that 4th position. And here comes Bechtel for the lead.
Bechtel not able to complete the pass, but Robert Brobst actually trying to make it 3 wide, possibly. Still side by side is Bechtel and Kruger.
And Daniel Ott has cleared for that 4th position. James Moore rolling the outside. He moves himself into 5th. Evan Hoopchak stuck down on the bottom. He's got Dustin Bawley just behind him, along with Levi Powell.
Levi Powell has had a night that he'd probably like to forget, but right now, inside the top 10, currently 8th. Trying to turn this night around. Ott and Moore side by side.
Talk about Powell. He just went through the middle and kind of door slammed Evan Hoopchak there, going through 1 and 2. So they've got side-by-side action going on behind them. The 91 and the 18. It's just a mess back here, Josh.
It really is. It's a mess. Side by side for second, too, is Brobst and Bechtel. Kruger in the wall. 3 wide for the race lead now. I was about to say Brobst and Bechtel keep battling for who's going to be second place behind Kruger, but now it's for the lead.
Kruger got the wall. James Moore inserting his name into this. He's in the 4th position. He's closed up to this. And right behind him is the pack. Bawley, Powell, Hoopchak. Kruger himself brought up how heavy the draft is here. Well, what you also think about with draft is anytime you're side by side on a track like this, that is going to draw a crowd. Kruger attacking for the lead again. Broke's gonna fake high, go low.
Kruger is pulling right up to Brobst. He's going to get to the outside of Brobst. And Michael Kruger is going to make a stick. Still side by side with Brobst off turn 2. Kruger with the advantage. He's going to take the lead.
And here comes a name we haven't called all night. Dustin Bawley to the 4th position. As there's a hornet's nest behind him. 3 wide. Laura Wiseman, Sean Johnson, and Johnny Rapp with Aaron Smith now in the middle.
4 wide.
Somehow going down into 1, they sort it back out to 2 wide.
So much racing going on all over this track. It's hard to keep track of it all. But Dustin Bawley, he's there, trying to hound the door for second place, which is now Brobst and Moore side by side for that position. Bechtel looks underneath Bawley. Bawley holds strong. Make that 8 to go here in Atlanta.
So a lot of side-by-side action, but one thing I'm noticing as I keep my camera in the blimp mode, that's what's allowing me to see all this action, is I'm seeing that yellow banana machine of Aaron Smith slowly but surely make his way through this pack. Not sure if he's got any damage, not sure how much damage he has, but it's Aaron Smith, and he's got some speed and he's got the pace.
Aaron Smith was on pit road 11 laps ago. Was on pit road for quite a while. So some damage repair was taken. So we are
From
3
the
wide.
cam, I can barely see it, but it looks like a little bit of right rear damage I can see on the 70. So
Ooh.
not all damage is repaired, as we're 3 wide for that's going to be the 5th position. Bechtel, Powell, and Hoopchak.
And there was a little bit of contact between these drivers as well. Battle for the lead is there. Brobst fighting with Kruger and Calamity in the back. Everybody's going straight.
Johnson and Rapp, I see. Rapp against the wall. Johnson down on the apron. Everyone's still straight. Continue on. Wally got himself up to 3rd. Wally throwing his name in the hat here.
It's 5 to go.
Wally got to slide him in front of James Moore. James Moore gives him a push down the back. James Moore in the wall and sideways entering on the corner.
4 more laps to go here in Atlanta. Kruger still leading Brobst and Bali. Moore, Bechtel, and Powell. These guys under a blanket. Can Kruger hold on?
Your top 6 are mostly all single filed out now. It's just about who can build the run at the right time. You see Brooks backing up a little bit. Bali now under attack from Moore for that 3rd position. That's going to allow Bechtel and Powell to close up. They single file it back out.
Bechtel running the high line. Gonna get
Bechtel
side by side with Moore. He completes it. Powell trying to get around Moore as well. 2 to go, though.
And Randy Bechtel has put the whip to it. He is leaving nothing on the table right now. He has gone to the wall, and he is absolutely flying. He's going to have a run on Brooks going down here into 3 and 4. I assume a slide job is coming. Indeed it is. He's going to go in, slide up, and he's clear for 2nd. And Josh, watched this down in 1 and 2. He has been up around the lip. He has really put the whip to it. I think he's got something for this 40 car, Michael Kruger.
So the white flag is out. Bechtel up in the wall.
It was just a kiss, but it might have been just enough to throw him off here. We'll see what he has in 3 and 4. Does Kruger go to the top and try to protect? He does not. He goes low. Bechtel's going to have a run on the outside. Watch it here.
Coming off turn 4. The checkered flag is waving. Michael Kruger holds on for the race win. Bechtel 2nd. Robert Brobst 3rd.
And with that, Michael Kruger is going to get his last interview of the season.
Wow.
But I believe, looking at our eligible list, we will get to talk to all of our top 3 tonight.
Yeah, we should be able to. Michael Kruger sweeps the night here at Atlanta. And he is burning them to the ground.
Wow, Kruger burns them to the ground. I will go ahead and run us down our finishing order. Obviously, Kruger getting the win here tonight at Atlanta. 2nd going to be Randy Bechtel. And Josh, I got to say, I think he was 1 lap too late to putting the whip to it, but he really got there. I thought he was going to make that move in turns 3 and 4. I think if he goes to that wall 1 lap earlier, he's going to catch Kruger sleeping and get around him. But impressive run by the 19 of Bechtel to get to the wall and get there within a 2nd of Kruger. Rope's going to finish 3rd. 4th going to go to Dustin Bali. 5th, James Morris. 6th going to be Levi Powell. 7th, Mark Royce. 8th going to be Aaron Smith. Good recovery for that 70 machine. 9th is going to be Evan Hoopchak. And running out your top 10 is going to be Peter Stewart.
11th was Larry Johnson. Sean Johnson 12th. Brandon Carl 13th. Daniel Ott 14th. Laurel Weisman finishes 15th. Ryan Campbell 16th. Johnny Rapp 17th. Tom Went 18th. Aaron Bray 19th. And in 20th, 1 lap down, was Sean Campbell.
21st going to be Devin Jack. 22nd will be Andrew White. And this is the 22nd. Andrew White going to be the first of our non-finishers here tonight. One of the drivers that pulled it behind the wall early. 23rd going to go Chris Winslow. 24th, Sam Stoner. 25th, Dakota Knoll. 26th going to be Chuck Labano. And Phil Keck never made the call tonight to qualify heat or feature. but he will be scored in iRacing results as 27. And Josh, looking at the list of those names from 22nd on back to about 26th, there's some names there that I would say should have and could have won this race.
Oh, yeah. A lot of really good race cars out there tonight. Fast drivers. But it was Michael Kruger that took the win.
Yeah, and before we get to Kruger, we do got to talk to the rest of our top three. And Josh, that starts with you and our third place finisher, Robert Brobst.
And hey, Robert, say third place finish for you tonight. You
hard fought.
Oh yeah, I mean you started second. You pretty much stayed up there the entire race. It looked like
we ran that sprint, and I figured out real fast that this was a track position race.
yeah.
So we cannot fall back.
Yeah, and despite that though, like I saw that tires really did seem pretty important as well. After even just a short run, what was it like for you to? I mean, were you worried about tires at all with also trying to drive it hard to stay up front?
I mean, I've been Oval League racing is where I usually hang out. Road and Plate is I love Dustin, so I'm here for him a lot of the time, and so I usually do oval plate stuff or oval track stuff, and I'm used to saving tire and trying to be quick about it. So it wasn't too terrible of a concern. Historically, I'm pretty good at this track and Auto Club and others that are evil on tires for some reason, even though I'm not good at saving them.
Well, the battle up there was just intense between yourself and Bechtel, Bally coming up there towards the end as well, and even just the battle with Kruger, trying to search around, kind of move around to different lines. What was that like out there?
You had the fast line that you use for qualifying, so you know where you could really rip a lap off if you needed to get one. Otherwise, you're just trying to keep yourself in the draft if you're not the lead car. Because these things don't have a ton of horsepower. It's kind of like the 550 package of the Gen 6 NASCAR Cup cars. They didn't have a ton of power, and you're stuck in the draft and kind of hoping you can get a run on the guy. But that was really... Because in iRacing, the tire physics are wonky. They don't really work like you think they should in terms of saving tire. You're not going up high and saving tire. It burns more up there for some reason. So you're just looking for speed and draft and doing your best to manage the tires.
Well, it was a pretty good run for you. Sponsors, shout-outs, who gets it done for you?
Well, obviously, we all have to thank Pomrat Golf. They put a lot of money up for all of us to come out here, all 30, 40 of us, get to do this for free with you guys broadcasting us. And can't thank those guys enough for putting up that chunk of money to make it happen for us. You got to thank Dustin for putting all this on, doing all the admin work by himself. He's a one-man crew, and he does a great job. Otherwise, I thank myself. I've got my paint schemes that I do. My car is a scheme that I made a couple years ago and just stuck it on this car to get out here with. I made Larry Johnson the 64 car, and I think I did one other one that's in the field, but I can't remember. So if there's anyone looking for an iRacing scheme, I'm on Discord. I'm on a couple different servers. And then got to give my dad and my wife a shout out, and maybe if they click the link and see this, they'll hear that.
All right. Well, congrats on the podium, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time.
Maybe.
All right.
All right.
That was Robert Bropes, third place finisher here at Atlanta. And John, you've got Randy Bechtel.
Indeed, I do. And the driver who almost got it done, that took that book out of Kyle Larson's playbook, took a play out of Kyle Larson's playbook, really put it to the whip there at the end, and really made an effort for it. Randy, how did it feel to get up to that wall? And do you think you were just a lap late, or did you have something there? What could you have done differently there? It seemed like you came oh so close.
Yeah, I mean, some people said I could have backed up to the wall sooner, I guess. I was trying to, like, force the issue. Got nobody above me, so I was like, oh, I'm just going to start sending in here. And luckily, it started to stick there above the 12. I thought we were at 3 to go. Coming off turn 2, I thought we were about to hit the wall there, but kept it off each other. Then last lap there, I just bounced off the wall. I don't know if I would have got beside Michael coming off 4 for a closer finish, but gave it a good try.
I mean, try you did. You started on the pole for the feature. You finished 10th in the sprint, and you and Robert Brobes both were kind of beneficial of just some decent track position. But we've seen the beginning of the sprint race, you kind of struggled with track position. We've seen even in this race, you would fade back at certain points, but ultimately making it up to the front when it counted. What did it feel like going through the pack? Was track position really important, or was it all about where you put the car at certain times?
I feel like it's just where you put the car at certain points. I know I don't think of myself as very good for short runs, so I was just stuck to the bottom, to the heat and the main there. Beginning of runs, just feeling how everyone was above me, just burning their stuff up. I knew Atlanta burned some tires up, so I'm just pacing myself. And, I wish we could have had some longer runs, but the last run was just long enough for me, I guess.
Well, and we won't see you guys, I believe, for 2 weeks, so we get a week off, I believe, next week. But next track we go to, we're going to see at VIR, Virginia International Raceway.
You should see me there. I'm not sure how good we're going to do. When you interviewed me after the was it the Talladega race or Daytona race, whichever, I had never raced Nürburgring. I've never raced VR either, so it'll be a whole new world for me.
Well, and last thing before we let you go, Randy, who do you got to thank who helps you get it done behind the wheel of that 19 machine?
Well, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. It's always fun going back and listening to you guys call the race. The sponsor for Road and Plate, Palmerac Golf, Dustin Bally putting on the series. Everybody else that helps them out, and all the other racers running plates. Been pretty fun here. First couple of races I've ever raced with them, so hopefully the fun continues. And, that's it.
All right, Randy, well, we're going to let you go celebrate a second place finish, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time at VIR.
And thank you guys.
That was our second place finisher. And Josh, this was the whole reason I had you interview third place, because I know after the sprint you wanted to talk to your buddy, and I know now that he got the double down, and this is going to be his final interview of the season unless he wins a championship. Go ahead and let's talk to your buddy, Michael Kruger, race winner here tonight at Atlanta.
And hey, Mikey, how you doing?
Doing great, Josh.
Well, it was a sprint race winner, or sprint race win for you. Now it's a feature win for you. Tonight, Atlanta treated you pretty well.
Yep. Somehow, I mean, I knew I'd be able to have a good shot at, but I mean, it was definitely a challenge. I mean, I about threw it away a couple times at the end. I made some stupid mistakes hitting the wall because I overestimated or underestimated the grip levels on the things with how, or the tires with how worn out they were, and I thought I gave it away for a moment to Brobst, and I think Randy as well, and I thought I just tossed it out into the gutter late in the goings, but luckily I was able to get on by and just kind of just pull away. I thought for a second James was gonna get to me with those a couple lap pressure tires when he got up there to second. I actually thought I was gonna be in trouble because he had about a few lap tire advantage. I was a little worried that if he got by Brobes, then I might be in some big trouble. But somehow, some way, some things just transpired differently there. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a pressure cooker there in those like late laps from worrying about fuel, getting enough caution laps to having to kind of hang on and try to some of the guys that had fresh tires that moved through, and then just fight on to the guys that I was on equal tires with. Because I mean, guys like Ropes and Betchel, I think. I'm sorry if I botched Randy's last name. I mean, they gave me a run for my money there a little bit at the end there. I mean, they were all over me and not making it easy. So I mean, props to those guys for really making me sweat for it a little bit there.
Yeah, and it seemed like nobody was running the top quite like you were. And you know, you talked about mistake there, getting into the wall a little bit. You still continue to run the wall. Still continue to be up near that wall pretty much as long as you possibly could. Is it just truly... How do you explain how hard it was to pass on the bottom?
Well, I mean, really, if you were going to make a move on the bottom, you had to make sure that, A, you set yourself up with a really good run in the previous corner before, and with how strong the draft can be in the ARCA cars, I mean, it really helps a ton, but you really got to make sure you get a good run to even, like, be able to complete the pass, and B, you got to be able to, on the bottom, just know the risk of doing it, that if you're going to do it and make a pass on the bottom, you better make sure you got that good run off the previous corner and got that strong draft and to make that move and to fully commit to it. If you just partially commit to it and you don't get a good run, you're not going to be able to do it. And really, that was kind of the key of passing on the bottom. If you could just do that, then yeah, it was possible, but it was tough. It was really hard to do. That's why I kind of strived to run the top of majority of the race, because that's where you're able to build the runs primarily. You're able to make the big runs on people, and you're able to catch their draft and then just roll the bottom and then slide on up once you get clear, and hopefully you have enough momentum off to make sure the guy that you just got by doesn't clear you or anything, and you can just try to roll the top really well in defense in the next corner, and if you get him there, you can have him from there.
All right. Well, sponsors, shout-outs, who gets it done for you?
Well, once again, I want to thank my teammate Dakota Knoll for coming out tonight. Want to thank him. Want to shout out to Cam for the scheme and for having C2 graphics on the car. Well, I guess I hate to say it, but I guess it's just I guess for the broadcast, you and Canfield, because I guess I won't be able to talk to you guys for the rest of the season. I hate it. I kind of didn't realize it with the rule we have for tonight, with the three limits. So I mean, I guess this is goodbye for now, hopefully, and hopefully later down the line this season I get to talk again for the post-race interview, whatever it might be. I hope to, because I'm going to miss not being able to chat for broadcasts for a while. or I don't know how long, or if I ever even will get a chance. But it was still nice to still talk here.
Well, we're gonna have to find a way to get you into the booth somehow. But no, congrats on the feature win, well, and getting the double tonight, taking the sprint and the feature, and so we'll let you go celebrate, and we'll probably see you here in a couple weeks at VIR.
Yeah. Yep. No question. I'll be here. VIR. Should be a fun one. I haven't exactly visited VIR before on iRacing, so it should be a fun learning experience trying to get to know VIR and all its challenges that it presents. So looking forward to it.
All right, go celebrate this win, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Michael Kruger, winner of tonight's feature race. Well, normally I would ask John what his thoughts were for tonight, but John had to run, so just me to close this out. And I'll tell you what, I did mention that I think whoever won the race had to really earn it. And Kruger, he dominated. You look at the lap sled count, and it's Kruger had it for most of the race, but it was close. Kruger kept being challenged over and over again, whether it be by Probst, whether it be by Bechtel, Smith early on. Dakota Knoll was up there. I mean, the rotating list of drivers that were all there hounding Michael Kruger, trying to take that top position away and stop Kruger from claiming another oval win. We talk about how Aaron Smith, he is super good on the road courses. Michael Kruger, he is super good on the ovals. And, it's going to be hard to really beat Smith and Kruger in those disciplines of racing. So congrats to Michael Kruger on accomplishing the feat of being able to get the sprint win and the feature win. And that was a great performance. And he tried throwing it away a couple times getting into the wall, but ultimately stayed focused and held on to the lead. So, this is not it for the week. We do have a couple more races this week. Tomorrow night, we see Special Stage taking on, it's going to be Michigan, my home track. And it's going to be with the IndyCar vehicles on iRacing. It's going to be their fourth race of this short season. So they are at Michigan tomorrow night. Qualifying is at 8:55. Grid at 9 p.m. That is Eastern time. So tune in right here on JCTV for that. And Saturday night, the BSR Amsoil Truck Series has their season finale. Champion will be crowned at Chicagoland. It's been a long season, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to take the title on that one. Originally, it was 4 races to decide the champion as far as in the playoffs goes. Final was elimination style, but then it was 4 races to figure out who the champion was. But points are so close. Literally, top 4 are separated by 2 points. So, a lot of drama there. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to claim that title. So, a lot to look forward to. That one is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on JCTV. Next week, it is a bye week. I am going to be at the Indy 500 traveling. With being Memorial Day weekend, I'm sure a lot of these drivers are going to be traveling as well. Going to be a lot of fun for sure. So I'm thankful that we have the bye week for that. So no racing here in Road and Plate next week, but it will be VIR when we return the 29th of May. So, just want to thank the drivers, the fans, and the admins. As always, without you guys, this would not be possible. And thank you to Jonathan Canfield, as always, for joining me in the booth. And so on behalf of Jonathan Canfield and the entire outstanding crew right here at JCTV, I'm Joshua Copperl, signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time.